So I asked ChatGPT to give me an Icelandic dessert recipe, and I thought, let's see what it comes up with. We have a Skyr Soufflé, traditional Icelandic dessert, I'm guessing, and here's the whole recipe, exactly what ingredients I need to do, and the instructions on what to do it. So it's from the oven, how to mix, and everything. And I've never actually really made a soufflé before. If this is an Icelandic dessert, I guess there's only one thing to do. Print out the recipe, Skyr Soufflé. I guess we'll just get started. So I've already preheated the oven to 400 Fahrenheit or 200 Celsius and just putting in the 4 egg whites here using a whisk to blend it up to stiff peaks as it says. So it's a large bowl to stiff peaks. Then we're going to gradually add in the 1/4 of a cup of sugar. And we want to also just slowly add a couple of vanilla drops. Now it says a half a teaspoon of vanilla, but I just eyeballed it because I feel like that's kind of what people do with vanilla. Once that's done, we're going to set that bowl aside, grab a clean bowl, and in this clean bowl, we're going to put 1 cup of skyr. And if you don't know what skyr is, it's kind of like an Icelandic yogurt, but apparently, according to Wikipedia, technically a cheese. So we're going to add 1/4 cup of flour into this bowl and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And what we're going to do as well is just mix it. It says mix until smooth. It says also a pinch of salt, so just throwing that in there and then mixing it until it's nice and combined. Nothing too crazy. Then we're going to take that egg white mixture and we're going to put it into the smaller bowl and just gently fold it. You don't want to lose any of these air bubbles that we've trapped in the egg whites. So it's a very gentle folding procedure. I've read that you sort of go from bottom to top. And what you want to do is just make sure everything's incorporated without popping as many bubbles as you can. Then we're going to take some butter and we're going to take 4 ramekins, grease up these ramekins with this butter. I found it easiest to just cut off a piece. And then take some powdered sugar and cover the buttered ramekins with powdered sugar. I made the mistake of a huge mess that didn't work, so I poured all the powdered sugar into one and then did this sort of tumbling method into each one. And of course made a mess, so I had to clean up the baking tray once I was all done. Then we're going to take all of that soufflé mixture, equally portion it into the ramekins. And we can see here, I was misled by this recipe. There is way too much soufflé mixture for 4 ramekins, even though that's what it said that it made. It's just, I probably could have made 8, 10 or so. But here we have 4 and put it into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes or until the soufflés have risen and are golden brown on top. After 12 to 15 minutes, they were nice and golden brown. They seem to have risen pretty well. And there was one you can see there that has probably the best. So I took that one, put it onto a separate plate straight from the oven, topped it with a little bit of powdered sugar as per the recipe, and then dove in with my fork and gave it a try. And surprisingly, this wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. I mean, it's a little bland. You could add maybe more vanilla or something like that. But overall, I'd say the AI recipe on Icelandic's dessert was pretty good. I don't know how many Icelandic people actually make this, but this is probably the most popular thing in Iceland to eat. So, what country should I do next? This was awesome, and let me know in the comments. I'm curious to try more recipes.